What's up, folks? How y'all doing? All right, so this is not something I usually do, make these videos or whatnot. You know, I had to put the light up here. I need to get my new light because, you know, I got to get this balanced. And anyway, I don't do this kind of stuff. My wife is the one who does the live videos on TikTok, and her and her friends, they have a group and they have fun, karaoke, all kinds of stuff. You should follow her. Her name is La Dama. They have a really good time on there, and sometimes I'm in here doing music and I hear them in the back, you know, having some fun. But anyway, follow her, La Dama. But anyway, this is totally different from what they're doing. This has to do with a little vision dream I had 4 years ago. Okay. Oh, sorry for my my blanket back here. This is a blanket my wife got me for Christmas. Well, she made it for me years ago, and I turned it into a poncho. And during the winter, I use it to keep me warm. And right now, I'm using it for the back of my chair because this chair is old and it's hard. It's not very comfortable. I need a new one. Anyway, so starting with the dream, I'm gonna go ahead and go into that because I don't want this video to be too long. Basically, the dream started. Well, first off, when you're looking at the president when he's having the State of the Union speech, the address, if you're looking straight at him, of course, you have the Republicans are to the right, and the Democrats will be to your left, right? And then everyone else, and you have all the people at the top that are watching the special guest. Hello, the Hispanic comes out. The special guests are at the top, okay? So, in the dream, I'm not in the middle. I am to the far right, meaning there is an aisle. I don't know if it's really there. I'm pretty sure it is. There's an aisle on the far side of the Republican side, okay? So I'm standing here looking straight down this aisle. The Republicans are to my left. The Democrats are on the other side of the Republicans, okay? So I'm at the far right. I start to walk and I can see somebody making a speech, and I'm guessing it's the president. I just don't know who it is because it's blurred out. This is not the focus of the dream, so it's blurred out to me. I see the person at the pulpit. I see the Speaker of the House and the Vice President. I don't see their faces. Everything to that point is blurred out. I see people standing up, shouting, some clapping, some not. Just a normal State of the Union address, okay? I walk down this aisle all the way to the back. Well, technically to the front. The back would be the back door, but I'm walking toward the front of the stage. Not the actual stage, but that direction, okay? The stage is over here to my left. I'm walking straight down, and at the end, when I get to the end, there's a door. I don't know if there's really a door at the end. I've never been in the building, but in the dream there was. I open that door, and immediately I'm inside of a hallway. Obviously, this is the Capitol building. The hallway is beautiful, immaculate. It's made out of marble, all white, really beautiful. And directly across is a bathroom, a men's room, right there in the hallway. And I walk toward the bathroom. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. That's just God put it in there. I have no idea. I walk to the bathroom. I start going into the bathroom, and the minute I start to shut the door and stay in the bathroom, I hear a loud ruckus. I hear noise, like people shouting, almost, you know, like big debate, loud, and not riot, but, you know, everyone's getting rowdy and loud and shouting and mad and angry. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I come back into the hallway. I don't go into the door that I had just come in from the, you know, from where the speech was. I go to the left and I go through another door. When I go in that door, now I'm on stage. I'm basically standing where the Speaker of the House would be. Okay, there. It doesn't seem high, but that's where I was at, because when I was looking at the person speaking now at the pulpit, at the microphone, it was it was what was this? I forget her name. Losing my thinking now. Hold on, put my eyes on real quick. I lose names, dude. I swear, it's like these names. It was Sidney Powell. Hold on, I just mentioned her name earlier. Anyway, it was Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell was standing, begging the audience. Okay, she was begging the audience. You could tell that her voice was like begging them, "Don't vote this way. Don't do this. Don't ride with Biden." Basically, because it's going to end up bad. Then to her left was Rudy Giuliani. He was looking at her, looking at the audience. You know, he was facing sideways in a way. You know, looking at her and then looking at the other. But then he would do this, like he was just like disappointed. He was sad, you know, that this was happening. The Democrats had completely cleared their side. They were already at the top of the stairs, shaking their heads, shaking their hands, cursing at Sidney Powell and Rudy. They were cursing at him, yelling at him, and while they were all walking out, Republicans were doing the same thing. Okay, not as angry, from what I remember. They weren't as angry, but they were walking out. They were just disappointed, shaking their head. There was a few that stayed in their seat. Very few. They were in their seat and they were shaking their head, and hanging their head. Actually, they were actually just hanging their head. It wasn't just shaking their head. They were hanging their head like in shame, like in I can't believe this is happening kind of thing. Okay. But while all this was going on, I had this urge of speaking loud, like this voice was coming through, was trying to say something. This voice was coming. You know it's the Spirit of God talking, wants to say something. When you feel it, you just feel like it was coming, like this wave. And not that they all heard, because I don't remember them hearing or anything. It was still playing out while this voice was coming. And I'm gonna give you word for what it said in what I heard, and it's actually coming from me. I guess it's what it felt like. But when that president said this was what I was hearing, I said, "Why don't you listen, America? Because you will not listen, because you have turned your back. I will divide you. Your East Coast will become Russia's, and your West Coast will become China's." Then I started to mention the South, and then I woke up. But Latin America was on my mind. So this just hit me. If you know, I was just reading this again. It just hit me. Because you turned your back. Turned your back. That just hit me. I'll tell you in a minute. So, this is what the voice, this God gave me in the dream, what he was saying to the people, to the Congress, to the president, to everybody there. And the last part got me. After I had this dream, immediately I woke up, I wrote it down. I typed it in my phone real quick on a notepad, and then if you know, I don't know if you know who Trey Smith is. Trey Smith is a YouTuber, and he teaches Bible history. Far history, the days of Enoch, Noah, and just stuff that goes the antiques of Bible. And it's pretty awesome. He does some really good stuff. His editing is kind of erratic, but man, I really love his stuff. And go look him up, Trey Smith. His ministry is God in a Nutshell. God in a Nutshell. Yeah, God in a Nutshell. Sorry, Trey. Anyway, he does some really good work, and anyway, I sent him the message on Facebook Messenger. I sent him the vision, and he chatted back and forth about it, gave me some words and stuff. I won't go into detail all that because I'd have to go back and read all that stuff. And this was 4 years ago, 2020. On November 25th, 2020, when I had this vision. So, but Ukraine wasn't really that much in the news. Like Russia hadn't hit Ukraine yet. And shortly after, this couple of years after this war with Russia and Ukraine started, with us backing them, the Western nations backing Ukraine. And then you had more escalation with Taiwan and China. China has been trying to get hold of Taiwan. So I kind of just put this thing aside and say, okay, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens and what's going to come of it. And here we are, 4 years later, and things have really ramped up. Like, I didn't know this was going to happen. And the reason I decided to share this vision again, because I shared it a while back, but I'm sharing it now because of the very last part. And what just came to me, because you turn your back, could that have been Israel? Could that have been us committing that one big sin? Don't turn your back on Israel. And we kind of technically did that. But we know that Russia has had a beef with us because of Ukraine. And Biden's recent actions didn't help. Okay. Because Putin has gotten fed up with the Western countries, intervening and sending weapons to Ukraine and whatnot. And he said that if any of our missiles, United States missiles, any of our missiles hit Russia from Ukraine, that it would start a World War III. It would start, they would go to war with us. Well, Biden, being the buffoon that he is, thought it was a good idea to go ahead and tell Ukraine, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dan. He's bluffing. Go ahead. So they they used our missiles, our weapons, and shot into Russia. And I don't know what they hit or what they did, but I do know they used them. That's what, according to a lot of the word that was coming out a little while back. And so Putin is making good with his word. He sends now, as you see this past week, they're having war games. Now, Russia has their own ocean on that side. They have ocean, plenty of ocean on their side where they can go do their war games and test their missiles and whatnot and all that kind of good stuff that they do, right? Militaries do. But no, he brings their military down here, submarines, ships, to Cuba. They are allies with Cuba and I think other nations because it's communist. Okay. So they decided to have these war games down here. That's it. They're trying to intimidate. That's what they're doing. They're trying to say, hey, we got the balls to go down there, fight on your side, and flex some muscle. So he's doing that, and of course now our military, we've sent out nuclear subs just to keep an eye. We've sent out ships to keep an eye, and so has Canada. So now everybody's on a high alert because of this. Now, all the ships and the ships and the submarines that Russia sent, obviously nuclear capable. They said, "Oh, there's no nukes on there. Don't worry, there's no nukes on there." Some treaty or whatever, Cuba. I can't remember what that treaty was. Where they can't. But in my opinion is like you don't spend millions to bring your military all this way, just to have war games. I think they have a little more hidden somewhere. Now, going back to the vision, obviously in the vision, God said, "I'll divide you. Russia will have your east, China will have your west." So of course now we have China that's been talking smack too, that they were threatening nuclear war with us as well over Taiwan if we intervene. There's been some little scuffles over there on that side between us and them. Nothing big, just reported. But from inside, folks, you hear it there, here and there. Excuse me, I'm gonna water. But anyway, going back to this dream again. The reason I wanted to share is the Latin part, the Latin America part, because I never understood what it meant. I didn't understand it. He mentions the South, but Latin America was on my mind when I woke up. I was like, what about the South? What about Latin America? What? You left me hanging. And that's when I woke up. So I didn't know what it meant until now. Because just this past week, what Putin is doing, not only having the war games over here, but he's basically playing our game. He said, okay, cool. You want to supply Ukraine and these nations at our border with weapons to hit us? I'm going to do the same with our allies close to you. So now he's talking about arming Cuba, arming Mexico, and I forgot the others that he wants to give nukes. Not just regular weapons, but ballistic missiles, but nukes to hit us. So he's doing the tit for tat thing, which it could easily escalate. What's the matter with my speaking today? Could easily escalate because you have these third world countries with missiles. They're probably like toys to them. They won't know how to handle these things. They're just gonna launch them, especially if they got beef with us. They don't care. So the fact that he's including South America and using South American countries, that pretty much fulfilled, in my view, this last part that I didn't understand. Putin is bringing in South America into the act, and that kind of shocked me because South America was mentioned, and I'm like, I never knew what it was until now. And while I was reading it to you guys, I actually clicked because you turned your back. We actually did turn our back on Israel to a degree with not giving them certain weapons and whatnot, not supporting, of course, Biden, who is anti-Israel pretty much. He's a joke, and he's pretty much destroying this country single-handedly, him and his cronies. And I pretty much say that Hillary is with him, and Obama's definitely behind it as well. Of course, there was that footage with Obama leaving. What is that place where the British Prime Minister stays? He was there having meetings with them. You're not president. Why are you meeting with these government officials? You're no one. You're an ex-president. You're not even, anywhere near, you don't have the position to do that anymore, basically. I think my voice is going. But anyway, I wanted to share this dream, this vision, because of, what's happening right now, and it's something that I felt was fulfilled. And the part that hasn't been is the divide part. I don't know what they mean by divide. I don't know the East and West thing. I don't think they would ever try to invade us. There's too many guns here. But they could hit us with the bombs. They could say Russia takes out the East Coast cities. China takes out the West Coast cities. That could easily be done. So, but anyway, that's what I have to share with you tonight. And I think I'm losing my voice. I might have to stop. But anyway, you guys need to pray for the country. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure Trump will come in, as Kim Clement gave the prophecy he would serve 2 terms. Every prophecy he has said about Trump so far has been fulfilled. And the second term, Kim never said it would be back to back. In fact, he said he would be set aside at one point. In his prophecy, he said he will set him aside. I will set him aside. And that was a clue. Of course, we didn't know it till after. Realized, oh wait, he's going to be in the White House, and then he's going to be set aside, and then come back. So that was, the prophecies he gave about Trump. There's many more about Trump, but anyway, he also mentioned Russia and China in many of his prophecies as well. But this was just one that was given to me, a dream. I'm not a prophet, any of that. It was just a dream that was given to me, and I thought I'd share it again, especially after what's going on with Latin America. So anyway, you guys be blessed, and I hope this wasn't too long. I hope I didn't talk too long. But anyway, thank you for listening, and have any questions, man, hit me up. God bless. Love you guys. Peace out.